From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on your Monday, February 10th. I'm Augusta McDonnell here with Miller Robson.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another snowy and cold week. Ooh. And we hope you're hydrating after your Super Bowl parties if you chose to partake in those celebrations. And we're happy that you're up and you're going to make it to work today.
Yeah.
Because it's like the highest day of truancy in the American workforce or something like that.
One day it's going to be a national holiday.
One day we'll finally wise up.
Yeah. Anyway, well, like Augusta said, we do have a little bit of snow out there this morning. Some big fat flakes have been falling. That will just taper off as we go along. Today, I mean, we could still see a little bit linger, but the bulk of it should be this morning, maybe a couple of inches before it gets out of here in Billings, Sheridan. You may pick up an inch, generally less than an inch across the area if you see any snow at all. Here's a big story. It was cold yesterday. Our high only getting up to 15, well below that 38. Our low of 2, well below 19 for our average. Top gust yesterday of 22 miles an hour. More snow yesterday. Here for the month, we've had over 16.5 inches of snowfall. So we're well ahead for the month. And I mentioned Friday here on the morning news that we were over 6 inches still in the hole for the season, that this next blast that came through on Friday could really cut into that. And look at that for the season. We're doing pretty good so far. I mean, that's not that bad considering where we were just a little while ago, really well in the hole, but not a lot of snow in the forecast moving forward. The big story is it's going to be very, very cold out there. 3 right now here in Billings, feels like 10 below, winds out of the northeast at about 8 miles an hour. Very cold this morning. Tomorrow morning, we could see record lows in some spots. We'll take a look at that with the main forecast coming up.
All right, lots to watch for. Miller, thanks so much for tracking that. And our top story this morning, frustrations are on the rise over the rise in egg prices. According to the American Egg Board, the average price of a dozen eggs sits at $4.16. That's up nearly 40% from a year ago. Much of that increase is due to large-scale outbreaks of the bird flu that's decimated flocks of hens. But as our Isabel Spartz learns, that's not much solace to businesses and consumers who continue to be hurt the most in their wallets.
For Billings brunch spot Sassy Biscuit, eggs are at the top of the ingredient list.
Every single menu item has an egg in it, whether it be our waffles or biscuits or pancakes.
They go through nearly 1,200 eggs a week, but prices on those have now skyrocketed, making it difficult for owner Jalon Hall, who just lowered prices to keep access affordable.
We have definitely been trying to pinch pennies and see where we can cut costs back. But margins right now, this has greatly impacted the margins that we are seeing.
What used to cost anywhere from 15 cents an egg has gone up to nearly 60, depending on the seller. The egg prices are the result of the avian influenza that is killing millions of egg-laying hens.
It's concerning because everybody's struggling with trying to pay for everything.
But Sassy Biscuit is just one of the many local businesses hurting from the high prices. Jennifer Keller runs Roll House Bakery, a cottage home bakery business, and always aims to buy her eggs locally.
That's always kind of been one of those staple ingredients that you always knew that you could just always afford. And now it's like a luxury to buy eggs. Like, it's crazy.
She hopes to keep her prices consistent, but knows the future isn't predictable.
I'm kind of absorbing the cost because I don't want to raise my prices right now because it's already kind of a splurge for customers to purchase my stuff.
Nobody's making more money, so eventually we're just going to price people out of being able to even come in.
In Grable, Wyoming, Bob's Diner owners Deanna and Robert Skillman face an extra challenge of traveling to buy eggs. However, with several large retailers running out, they've been forced to choose more expensive options.
We were able to get our eggs at 55 cents an egg this last week. Anywhere else I could find was above 68. So
when we started 4 years ago, we were paying 8 cents an egg.
To compensate, they've raised prices on egg dishes, something all owners are hoping to avoid.
I mean, food costs have been fluctuating for the last 2 years, so it's just been, this is just another thing we have to adjust to.
Based on what we're seeing so far, I'm just not sure what the rest of 2025 is going to look like. And it can be a little scary as a business owner for sure.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
Isabel, thanks so much. And the Cracked Egg, one of Laurel's busiest breakfast spots, isn't just contending with egg prices. It was also forced to close part of this weekend due to Laurel's snow emergency. Laurel Mayor Dave Wagoner declared that state of emergency by executive order Friday after some parts of the city received up to 8 inches of snow and nearly 18 inches in the course of a week. The state of emergency was declared to free up resources to bring in additional contractors to help clear the roadways. Laurel's public works director says the city was able to bring in 3 private contractors in addition to their 6 large snowplows with that money. In all, it's expected the snow removal effort will cost the city $4,000. And in sports this morning, we open up a special series celebrating 50 years of girls basketball in Montana. Here's our Scott Breen.
Women's basketball has never been more popular with college, Caitlin Clark, WNBA, and of course the rise in ratings. Montana's seen its share of WNBA players, but truth is producing high-quality girls basketball stars is nothing new here in Montana. If there's a mastermind on the subject, it's Robin Salvik.
I credit the growth in Montana to good high school coaching and women finally getting an opportunity.
Selvik's resume with Lady Grizz basketball is an embarrassment of riches. The university's court is named after him. His milestones are mind-blowing, highlighted by over 800 career wins, mostly with homegrown players.
We had a ton of really good Division I players coming out of this state.
These pictures are just of championship teams.
Kevin Wooden is now in his 21st year as women's head coach at MSU Billings after a decade at West High.
Girls basketball was in the fall, and I just remember Coach Selvig at the University of Montana dominating the recruiting for Montana at that time.
What I found, coaching both at Plentywood High School and then here, was given the opportunity, they were going to take full advantage of it.
He always told me that it was much easier for him to, in the fall, get out there and watch those Montana players. So I think that was an advantage. And obviously, he won and won and won.
And it was an exciting time just to watch how fast it grew, especially here at the university.
Make plays.
Like Selvig, Wooden's success has also elevated to the national level, showcasing rosters filled with Montana high school grads.
Over my entire time here, almost 80% of our players have been from Montana, and the small schools, the Class C and the Class B, have been great to us. Some of our best players ever have come from there.
Why is that?
I think there's a built-in work ethic in their communities, and I think they've benefited from some great high school coaching.
Mandy Morales actually played high school ball for Wooden at Billings West before signing with Arizona State.
Mandy would have been a multi-year starter and an all-conference type player, no question, and their coaches told me that.
But her heart was at home, so Morales transferred to UM, escalating to number 10 on the Big Sky Conference's greatest female athlete list in any sport. Debbie Olson-Sevier lives in Glendive. She recalls life as a teammate on West's first girls program in 1975.
I see a lot of progress with allowing girls to be involved in sports in the last, obviously, 50 years.
Now see where it's gone.
Most recently, Brianna Williams comes to mind. The Billings Skyview graduate earned Montana's last 2 Gatorade Girls Player of the Year awards. And as you see now, she wears number 40 for the University of Maryland.
Basketball is basketball, and great effort is great effort, and it's just blossoming, and I hope it continues to grow.
Scott Breen, MTN Sports.
All right, Scott, thank you so much. And be sure to join us this month as we continue to dive deep with interviews and storylines celebrating girls' basketball success here in Montana. Let's pivot now to some political headlines. President Donald Trump begins the 4th week of his second term with generally positive polling numbers from the American public. Still, he faces court challenges over multiple executive orders amid concerns about rising prices. CBS's Naomi Ruckham has a closer look at the president's plans for the week, including announcing new tariffs and an end to an American currency staple.
President Donald Trump has a new target in his quest to cut government spending, the American penny. Overnight, he announced on social media that he has instructed the Treasury Secretary to stop making new pennies, which cost more than 3 cents to make. Also happening today, President Trump says he will announce new tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports, including from Canada and Mexico. And later this week, he'll come out with new reciprocal tariffs on countries worldwide.
They are charging us 130% and we're charging them nothing. It's not going to stay that way.
New CBS News YouGov polling shows the American public largely approves of the sweeping changes made over the last few weeks, with 70% of Americans saying President Trump is doing what he promised during the campaign. 66% say he's not doing enough to focus on lowering prices. The president says after dismantling USAID, he's directing Elon Musk to look at overspending at other departments. Democrats are trying to fight back against the president's agenda, but admit they can only rely on court challenges.
The checks and balances are working. What is not working is the way that the executive is behaving.
So far, as many as 12 federal judges have put pauses on the president's plans. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
And in sports again, the Philadelphia Eagles pulled away with a big Super Bowl 59 win in the Big Easy, denying the Kansas City Chiefs a three-peat yesterday. Eagles star quarterback Jalen Hurts was the game's MVP. President Donald Trump was at the game, which mixed in a lot of signature New Orleans flavor, weeks after a deadly terror attack there rocked the city. CBS's Danya Bacchus has more from New Orleans.
Super Bowl 59.
The Philadelphia Eagles are flying high, taking home the Vince Lombardi Trophy after a dominating 40-22 win over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Eagles! Champions! I am through the moon right now.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts was named game MVP.
I truly believe offense wins games, but defense wins championships.
President Donald Trump was the first sitting commander-in-chief to attend a Super Bowl. He had predicted a Chiefs win, but the team struggled to put points on the board until the second half.
Credit to the Eagles, man. They played better than us from start to finish.
In addition to the game was the much-anticipated halftime show from Grammy winner Kendrick Lamar, which included appearances from actor Samuel L. Jackson, singer SZA, and tennis champion Serena Williams.
When you can see the full field and all the movements and Kendrick was amazing.
This being New Orleans, musicians from the Big Easy were well represented before kickoff.
They include Lettucey, Harry Connick Jr., and Grammy and Oscar winner Jon Batiste with the national anthem. Singer Lady Gaga gave an emotional performance on Bourbon Street honoring the victims of last month's terror attack there, as well as those impacted by the California wildfires and the recent plane crashes in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, New Orleans.